Yesterday afternoon, the messages started filtrating through the WhatsApp groups because another heavyweight in the city's underworld having been shot dead in broad daylight. Andre Naude, euphemistically called a security boss, but very much connected to the illicit underworld in Cape Town, shot dead in Voortrekker Road yesterday. Gunmen pulling up alongside his vehicle, opened fire. 55-year-old Andre Naude died then on the scene. But he was one of the accused in the murder case along with Sexy Boy's gang boss, Jerome Donkey Boyson, who then also later then arrived on the scene. But there is, and it does appear to be, a pattern of assassination because now 6 people involved in the Brian Weinstein case have been connected. There's, of course, Brian Weinstein himself, murdered in 2017, but also Jason Mates, killed in 2021. William Red Stevens, also killed in 2021. There's Anthony van der Walt, murdered in his home in Retreat in 2022. In November last year was Mark Liffman, and now Andre Naude. Is someone cleaning house? What's happening? Aron Hyman is a senior analyst at the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime. Good morning, Aron. Really appreciate your time. Of course, all in the realm of speculation. Anti-gang unit detectives were on the scene, but you have to look at this trail, this pattern of assassinations, all involving people who were stood as accused in the Brian Weinstein murder case.
Morning, Lester, and good morning to your listeners. I am going to be very careful to not speculate because all of the people that you've mentioned now are underworld figures, and they do live a very dangerous life by nature of their occupation, their chosen occupation. So you can, I think, with regards to Andre Naude, yes, he claimed that he was shot at, or that he was also the target of assassination last year during the same time. I presume he would have also meant by the same people that were trying to kill, or that eventually killed Mark Liffman. So, and it would make sense in the sense that he was a very, very close and loyal associate of Mark Liffman. They were always seen together. He was always the one who would go to court and basically bail him out if Mark Liffman was arrested and so on. Yes, and certainly part of his inner circle.
We're currently at an interesting juncture when it comes to police and court processes. There are 3 trials happening at the moment, all including some form or the other of underworld figures. There's the Nafiz Moda case running separately. There's the Ralph Stanfield case running separately, and then there's the Brian Weinstein case of that features the likes of Jerome Boyson, Mark Liffman, and now the late Andre Naude. But what does it tell us in how it appears as if illicit networks are still very much intact and maybe even ruthless, even when you have these high-profile alleged figures who are currently standing trial?
Well, you also didn't mention the Alton Lenting case, which is a massive gang case involving the terrible justice from Delft, and also the Colin Boyson case. He's not on trial, but he's still behind bars. He was arrested, I think, last year or early this year. But in any case, it's a strange time in the underworld in Cape Town at the moment. I don't know. Well, it's certainly in the past, since Cyril Bika was killed in 2011, I don't think there's been a situation that resembles anything like we have now, where you practically there's very few names. My colleagues and I were trying to figure out who's still on the outside, who has enough power, who has enough clout to kind of take over, in whatever vacuum has been created now. Um, and so but the connections are still there. These networks are still running. Extortion is still happening. If you speak with the owners of nightclubs or of businesses that have been paying extortion fees, they'll very likely tell you that yes, on the 31st of this month, we are fully expecting to pay whatever the amount is that we are paying for so-called security services.
So with these people on trial, I know that Nafiz Modak, he is currently on remand. Stanfield is currently on remand. Is this creating some form of power vacuum, particularly when it comes to street level activity? I've been reading recently the GTOC's latest Western Cape Gang Monitor, and there you talk about the induction of Ralph Stanfield into the prison number gang. You also talk about what is happening on street level, where we're seeing accelerated movement and remapping of gang activity in our communities, but also quite worrying, the accelerated recruitment of younger boys, if not children. What's it doing to the makeup of when we experience gang activity in Cape Town?
Yeah, so the street gangs are in turmoil at the moment. It's and it's like been happening now for a couple of years. You've got lots of bullets, you've got lots of guns in the hands of gang recruits, and there's as you rightly point out, there's this vacuum. So who's going to step into that space? Who's going to be the next Ralph Stanfield? And we don't know who that is yet. If Ralph Stanfield, as we assess, has been made a number, that gives him, more power to call shots from inside prison. But who's he going to be talking to outside of prison and saying to go and kill this one or go and kill that one or take over this territory? We don't know that. I think that's why you are seeing accelerated violence as well, that we witnessed towards the end of last year. It's because nobody knows who the top dog is in their neighborhood anymore. So they've power vacuums have been created, but we need to look at the opportunities that are created here as well. If you look from the point of view, from a neighborhood watch and a CPF point of view, local police station point of view, the areas where there's a lot of momentum around CPFs, where communities and the government have focused their efforts, there is an opportunity now to claw back and stabilize and basically try and weed out gang violence. Not in all the neighborhoods. I don't think we're there with Hanover Park or Manenberg or places like that, but there are some neighborhoods where this turmoil on the street that's in the street gangs is perhaps an opportunity that we should be seizing upon.
Yeah. Aron Hyman, senior analyst at the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime. Really appreciate your time.